right. Welcome back, Romain.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I love that it's raining today.
It seems like every time we're doing these batch record sessions, it's raining.
Wait, what?
Last time it was raining.
No,
it was super hot, but it rained.
It was raining? Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's either like super hot or it's raining and super cool.
Yeah.
Because today is like the first cool day in like weeks.
Which is really nice.
It's only like 20 degrees.
Philly's wearing long sleeves. So you can see
I can finally wear long sleeves again without
and we're wearing pants. Look. Pants.
Actual pants for once.
Actual pants. What's up?
Look, there's one really important thing I think that we all not struggle with some, but also like keep being touched and being, I don't know what I want to say, that we keep on hearing and that keeps on happening, and it's personal work.
Oh, yeah.
And it's super important for all creatives.
Oh,
Any creative doesn't really only
it is especially when you start to do that professionally. I think I don't know for you, but I felt like ever since I started to like do film, video, whatever, even photography professionally, you tend to be really focused on like the projects you have going on, and the deadlines and all this stuff that can be kind of
overwhelming,
stressful and overwhelming, and you put aside the fun personal stuff,
right,
and
because you always start with the fun, like every filmmaker and photographer I know, they start like by just doing it by themselves, doing the stuff they like. Nobody tells them what to do
exactly
until they reach a point where people start paying them for it, and then it starts turning the other way, and you're doing kind of their stuff, what they want, and you put your stuff aside, and it's
kind of easy to get lost, I think, in the 100%. Professional stuff, because like at the end of the month you have bills to pay, and you need to make a living out of what you're doing.
I feel like for me it's like a pendulum. It's like I started like full on personal stuff, and it went like more client stuff, and then it went like full client stuff, and like oh shit, I haven't done anything like that I really wanted for months. Shit, I need to do more in my stuff. And now I'm like really, for me, like the past few months, I'm really coming back to like, hey, I need to shoot more what I want again.
That's healthy.
And so it's kind of like a pendulum for me. And I think what I've heard from other people that have been doing it for longer, I think it's never 100% going to stop. You're never going to find this, or that's like the goal you want to reach. Find this like nice sweet spot where you do your stuff and you do client stuff, but it's always kind of going to be like, oh, it's a lot of this, and you kind of dive into this, and then you want to go back more to personal.
And I think I think if you go too much in like because I think it's the same for everybody. If you go too much in the professional and just, can you stop playing footsies with me again? Jesus,
we need a bigger table.
We need a massive table. No, but if you go full on in the professional stuff, I think it's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your anxiety, your creativity, and whatnot, because like you kind of have these constraints, when you work for people. You can't do whatever you want, and that's kind of freeing sometimes, because your creativity goes a long way, but at some point you have someone like putting boundaries. And sometimes when you do personal stuff, sometimes you overthink, you go too far, and like you can 100%. Get lost in the process. But I think that's also the beauty of it, to some extent, to just do stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be good or bad. It's just do stuff for yourself. And 100%. I completely agree with you. I think the right balance, I think, is really hard to find. I think you can maybe find it when you get popular enough for people to hire you to do the stuff you want.
Kind of the ultimate goal for artists. But also then I would argue that it's not going to be like only your stuff. I don't think, or like maybe like 1% gets to do that. The other is like, I want your stuff, but I mean, I've seen that in commercials and big things that hire directors because they have like a certain thing that they do, and then they hire them, and it gets through like a lot of people in this big company and marketing, whatever. And at the end, it's really like it come in weeks or months. It came from this like really special thing that this guy or this girl does to, well, it's basically like basic now, just like a touch of him. I know. And that's very sad.
It's watered down. But how do you approach this? Because like you said that you realized a few months ago that you were doing too much of the professional stuff, and how did you dial it back and start doing more of like the
well, actually it was because more of or less of a burnout last year.
Yeah.
And I noticed that, you know, I didn't enjoy the whole work as much as I did initially. And I was like, that's not the point that I want. Like, I've been only here for like 3, 4, 5 years. I don't want to burn out after 4 or 5 years. I'm not even, you know, like, and I just noticed, like, why did that come? Of course, it was a lot of work. That's like the main thing. But also I didn't enjoy, I was like pushing it so hard. I didn't enjoy it that much. And I've been ever since, it's like almost like pretty much spot on a year ago.
Yeah.
Where I had that. And I'm still kind of coming back from that and figuring out what it was and, you know,
how to avoid it in the future.
How to avoid it and why did I have it. And also it's still like I still have, I want to say symptoms probably from that.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like when big projects come up, I can feel like I can do it, but I'm stressing out about it, and I don't know why, because I didn't usually do that, because it's like exciting, like that's what I want, and it's a really cool project. I get to work with cool people, whatever. But it's somehow I get tense, like just by knowing it's coming up. Yeah. Not even there's a problem or something. So
I think that's one of that's one of the main signs with like creative burnout or burnout in general, is that the smallest tasks
get really hard
to do.
And I start procrastinating. Like as soon as I know, I got stuff to do, and I don't like it 100%, because I fell into the other. Like now I want to only do what I like. Yeah. And like as soon as I don't like it, it's like, let's do that later. Yeah. And I can feel that, and that's what maybe you know, want to go back to, or not back, but just, you know, think about that more and do this more. And so I can also integrate more into client work. My stuff, and also find kind of my art and what my style is, I want to say.
How did you figure out that you were like burning out?
Oh, I found it out later.
Okay.
Well, there was one shoot that at one point, I keep saying that, at one point in August last year, I was shooting for, I think, what was it? Like 15 or 16 days, like straight.
Oh shit, yeah.
And like, it was all my productions. I wasn't just assisting or something. It was all like I was either directing, DPing, or the photographer for the shoot, and it was a lot of like stuff on my back. It wasn't like I was managing it, but it was just too much in a short term. And I was on that photo shoot with this beauty company, and like we had 3 models on there, and it was a really cool day. We had 2 days shoot. And I enjoyed it. I was able to do anything. The client didn't really have, you know, an idea what they want. So I could, you know, get in there and really do my stuff. And I didn't enjoy it on the shoot. I was just like, I don't know what else we want to shoot. I usually have a lot of ideas and I want to do the stuff I like. Like once you're free like that. And I wasn't enjoying it. And I knew like, that's.
And you noticed on the spot?
I noticed on the spot, but I didn't know why.
Okay.
And then I was like, and I had vacation planned anyway, luckily. So I went surfing for 3 weeks, and I knew we were gonna do something. And that's like during my vacation, I had a lot of time to think, and that's when I knew like that was probably too much. Yeah.
Creative burnout is like a real thing, and I've been talking about it. Like I don't know if we talked about it on here, but like on my YouTube channel and stuff. And this is something that luckily is getting talked about a lot more nowadays. Over the last 2 years, maybe people are more open about it. Yeah. I think burnout in general, but in our field, the creative burnout is a real thing. And I think everybody who's working in this creative field, whether it's photographers, filmmakers, even graphic designers, whatever, requires you to come up with like new ideas all the time. We'll have some sort of like creative burnout at some point, because it's impossible if you don't step back and like take time to actually do other stuff, maybe pick up like another hobby or like go surfing or whatever, or even do like balance. It's all about it. And so many people around me have suffered from this, and I think I've had it because like the symptoms of like being like stressed out by like the little things that are not issues. It's just like, oh, you have a shoot next week.
You got something to do. That's it.
Yeah. And I think everybody suffers from it. I know a lot of people who has like have had like panic attacks and stuff like this, just because it's too much. It's overwhelming and
it's a burden on your shoulders.
Yeah.
You know what? This episode was going to be about personal work, but I think we should just go with creative burnout because I think it's a very important topic, and we both have a lot to say about it. I think.
Yeah, it is.
Let's just.
But I think it goes hands in hand because the personal stuff. I think if you that's the problem with every time you pick up a hobby and it becomes your way of making money. That's why a lot
of people even say I don't want to make it a job because I won't enjoy it anymore.
The thing you kind of have to avoid, in my opinion, is to only focus on this and only do this. As you said, you need to pick up something and find balance. But
it's hard when you have such a big passion for it. All you do is this. I think sometimes you cannot even control it. It's like.
But I think it's hard in the beginning to find balance. But once you've kind of like figured out like a way of like doing something different, and you see the benefit you get out of this in your creative work, it's second to none. Because like there's nothing worse than just like going from one shoot to another, to pre-production, to this, to editing, to grading, whatever.
You stop enjoying it.
And like once you step back and you maybe it could be like a photo project you do on your own. You go shoot people in the streets.
It can be even 2 hours of just you doing something that you have in mind.
Yeah.
Like, get a friend, get your girlfriend, whatever.
Yeah.
Your pet.
Yeah.
Might be as well.
Exactly.
And do like something you had in mind and you wanted to try.
Yeah.
And from there stuff can, develop. And even
I think a lot of people because like creative burnout is of course in the creative field, but like burnouts in general, and I think a lot of people are like who are sitting on computers all day crunching spreadsheets, numbers and stuff. I think a lot of people that I know, at least that work that way, they find it really refreshing when they step back from the computer and like they do something with their hands, whether it's like woodworking, craft, whatever. And I think it's also something that we can do as, filmmakers, creative 100%. People. Just step back, like, because everything we do is like related to like a device or computer and stuff. And just if you create, like if you draw, or like if you like leather work, like recently I've been really looking at YouTube videos about, leather work, making like small wallets, belts and stuff.
Have you done anything yet?
I haven't done anything yet, but it's just like, this coupled with like ASMR, it's really nice. But
I'm excited for your YouTube channel, man.
Yeah, it's gonna change, it's gonna switch. But no, but it's really nice, and I think more and more now, I'm gonna start to try to have my weekends for me if I don't have any shoots, and like do stuff. Of course, do stuff with my family, my daughter, and everything. But like also do stuff for myself.
For you, what really helps you is having a family, having a young daughter.
Yeah.
It makes you like get away from
you have to.
You have to.
Because my 2-year-old doesn't give a fuck if I need to edit something.
Give a shit about your
play
shoot.
Now. Yeah, exactly. I want to play it with you now.
Yeah.
So this is by far the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And it really, boundaries is really important, I think. And even before I had a kid, I was really trying hard not to bring work at home as much as possible.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of hard because you have your laptop and like...
It's too easy these days.
You don't... let me just check my emails and
Small
stuff.
SSD, laptop, you can do anything.
It's bad. So I think boundaries. But if we go back to like your story, because you went on the surf trip for 3 weeks, and how like you realized that you had creative burnout, or you still had it. What steps and what did you implement to actually overcome, or at least ease up like the symptoms?
So the funny thing is, or it's not that funny, but it's just I didn't realize until later that it was a burnout. I was just like, I'm overworked a bit. I did too much in a short time. I was too stressed out, and only like the symptoms only really came later. I noticed over a longer period of time, because whereas before I would just like, I didn't care if a shoot was on the weekend, I would just do it. And I didn't have any boundaries, that what you just mentioned. And I was like, of course, sometimes I had something, some plans, then I would say no. But a lot of times when like weeks ahead, I would be like, yeah, sure, let's do the shoot on the weekend. I don't care. And I would say yes to everything, and stuff would build up, and you would have weeks without like a real weekend, or you would only have like a day during the week. And then I fell into, like, for me, it's always the extreme. I'm an extreme person. I always go like from one extreme to the other. Like if I do something, I do it full, and it's the same with this. Like I went full, like working on weekends doesn't matter. Like I was like days, like who cares if it's Saturday or Sunday? I mean, I can get a free day on Monday, but it's just not the same because other people are free then. Your friends, girlfriend, they get to like do stuff together, and you're like, I gotta shoot. And then I fell into the other extreme. I was like, look, Friday at 5 o'clock every day at like 5 or 6, I would be like, done. I'm not working, even though I have a lot to do. And I didn't tell myself that, Phil, you have to do this. It's just, my mind was just, I couldn't work after 6. Like it was like 6. I didn't want to sit there anymore and edit or whatever. And also weekends, same thing. I was like, like I didn't even think about, like if I looked at my calendar, I saw 5 days a week. I did not see Saturday and Sunday as any possibility to do anything. And that was just my, I don't know, mind, body, whatever. Just tell me, look, bro, you need these days for yourself. And honestly, like now looking back, it wasn't me telling myself, look, don't do Saturday, don't do it. It was just like, I only saw 5 days in this calendar. It was my body really telling me, look, either you do this now or it's not going to be good.
That's good. That's
which
good.
Is super good. But I only realized after a few weeks, months, like now it's a year. Like I realized later, it's like, that's my body telling me, bro, you need to chill. And it's good because now I realize that at a young age, I know how this feels. I know how far I can go. I kind of know where my limits are. I'm not saying this can never happen again, but I definitely know when it's getting there, and I know how to counter work it.
And nowadays, how do you, because you said, you came back from the surf trip, you realized, and then your body, like your mind told you essentially, no, you go 9 to 5, you don't work extra hours, weekend or weekends. Exactly. And now, since it's been like a year, have you been able to like dial this back down and like find balance, so work on certain weekends and like work late sometimes?
That's the thing I'm in right now. Like I'm always talking about this pendulum. So I was in that one extreme, I fell into the other, so I'm coming back, like kind of figuring out where the middle is. It's been with everything that I ever did, it was like that. Everything like extreme, and then it was too much, boom, other extreme, and then like, bro, let's meet in the middle.
It's a good way to find the middle.
I guess, but sometimes it's like stressful. I would love to just kind of touch on like, slower, but that's what I do, I guess. That's who I am. But knowing that is good, because I know like when I'm one extreme, I can already expect I'm going to fall into the other extreme. So I know how to kind of counter work that. And now, I'm just working on finding a good balance. And I can really, like, what really helps me is I feel my body more and my mind when I know it's too much. Like I can feel, sometimes I'm like hitting this, like I'm just, if I'm excited about work, I'll get in there like, and I won't stop. I won't even stop for food and drinks. I'll just be in there for hours. And I know, like, I didn't know it before, but now I know when I'm in that mode, I'm like, bro, chill, go out for a walk for 5 minutes even. And it helps me like just have new energy, because otherwise after 4 hours you're burned out for the day, and you're like, I'm not gonna work the next 4 hours because I'm so like tense and stressed. So if I do 4 hours, like I'm super efficient for these 4 hours, but the next 4 hours are gonna be trash. So I'd rather do 2 hours, have a quick break, and in the end, in the day, I have 6 hours or maybe even more, which are all productive and not just 4.
6 hours of productive work per day is like really crazy.
Hard. It's
a lot.
Really hard. So I'm just, and also I have a really like strict morning routine. Like I won't just get up and get straight to work. I always take my time to like either do sports, or like just take some time for myself, go for a swim now in the summer. Like I live right next to the Aura, which is super nice for like a morning swim. Just start off with like you, and not with somebody else. That really helps me.
And do you keep getting like stressed out with like because like one of the symptoms we mentioned is like everything seems to be like this massive mountain that you can't, it's gonna be really hard to climb up. Task, but even if it's like the smallest thing, like even sending an email sometimes might feel like the most impossible task ever. Do you still get this feeling right now, like nowadays, or is it like?
No, I still have it. but I know when it comes, and I know it's just my mind procrastinating and just being scared of doing it.
Yeah.
So for a while now. Like, I want to really hear your story in a bit. I've been talking a lot.
No. Talk.
I would really love to, but just quickly, what really helps me, and I think other people, like a lot of people I told, they tried it out or I did it before, and they say it helps them a lot. Like, each night now, I have this agenda. I even have it here. But hold on, I'll show you.
For now, the people who are on Spotify, it's time to go on YouTube and look at Phil's little black notebook.
Go check our faces. So I have this notebook here, which is just an agenda, calendar in English. And each night, you can see, like, I've been doing this for a while now.
You pre-plan what you do the next day?
Like, I'll just go into, I have a digital to-do list, and I'll go in there and be like, okay, what's super important? What do I need to do tomorrow? And I write down with, like, checks, see, with these little squares. And I just know what I do. I tend to do this, like, morning, during the day, work, and then after work.
That's funny. I do the exact same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
And it helps me so much knowing when I get up, okay, I want to meditate this morning, take supplements, and I want to quickly, shower.
Yeah.
And just having this, knowing what I have to do, and then being able to physically take this out and make a check mark in there, feels so good.
And the cool, that's, I've heard, well, I don't know if I read, but I think I've heard of watching on YouTube, someone talking about the importance of making your bed in the morning.
Yeah.
With things I don't do. So if my girlfriend watches, everybody knows I don't
either.
But they were saying, like, why is it, because it was an ex-military guy, whatever. And they were like, why is it so important to make your bed in the morning? And he was like, well, this is a simple task. You wake up and it's super easy to do. You do it and you feel good about yourself because you did it.
It's an accomplishment, huh?
It's an accomplishment. It's the same thing as you, like,
being able to check it.
Yeah, check it. Take supplements. It takes like 30 seconds. Take supplements, and you did something already. So your mind and like your brain is already wired in, like, oh mode. Shit, we're getting shit done today.
Yeah, exactly.
And what he said was actually cool. Like, you do your bed the first thing in the morning. First thing you do, good. Your brain is like wired in. And if you had a shitty day, you come back home and your bed is made. So it's cool. That's what he said. And I was like,
feeling,
and I kind of agree with that. And that's funny because I do the exact same thing. Mine is a lot thinner though. But what I do is, I've read somewhere, I don't know who told me, I don't know, I'm really bad with sources, but they were like, for a to-do list to be efficient, the best would be not to have more than 5 things. Like, take the 5 most important things. You have a digital to-do, okay?
Yeah. Like
all the stuff you need to do. Take the 5 most important ones. Yeah. The rest doesn't matter.
Right.
Ut them in. Okay. And you don't look at the other points unless you've made the 5 things.
Right.
And this, so like,
and it makes
prioritize what you have to do, and it's not as overwhelming. Because, like, to be honest, I use Trello a lot. So I have this massive to-do list for the shit I have to do, and when I look at it, sometimes I'm like,
where do I even start?
Yeah. So it's all about breaking down what you have to do in like small pieces. But same thing for everything. Same thing for pre-production for a film.
Yeah, exactly.
Break it down. You're not going to be able to figure out the whole thing in like 8 hours. It's going to take weeks. So break it down in small portions. Have small wins all the time. But I think it also, you can relate to sports as well. Same thing for like football, for instance. You know, you're not going to be the best player ever, like by watching tape once and stuff. Yeah. You have to break it down. I think we talked about it. Yeah. Break down the first step. How's the first step? Okay, first step, I have to do this. Then, okay, what's my read? What's my,
it's like that for every goal you want to reach. It's the kind of visual that we always have is like each step, like take each step by itself, and and together it's going to be this big goal.
Exactly.
It's like that for everything. Just take step by step, and it feels good because you don't have to look out for the mountain already. Just look out for the little hill that's coming. And take this, and then take the next one.
Exactly.
And it's the same with these to-do lists.
And I think it's really healthy to have this kind of system to just like dumb down what you have to do, sort of, and like make it more achievable and like make it feel like it's not like too much work to do. But I think we're also heavily influenced by, everything we see on social media and whatnot. We see those people being really successful, and we're like, okay, how can I do this? And then all of a sudden, everything seems to be so much work. Whereas when you break everything down, then you're good. Yeah. And that's really interesting because like I have the exact same system.
That's dope.
That's crazy because we never talked about it. Like
we actually didn't.
Yeah.
No, and it helps me so much. And also I take myself much more how do you say that? like
accountable.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Like if I get home and I have something on my list and I didn't do it, man, it's so hard to say, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like I see on that list there's one unchecked. I'm
you
like,
do it.
Bro, I got to do it.
Yeah.
And that really helps me get shit done, and not like it's always the small stuff that you don't like to do, or for me at least, and probably for you the same, that you tend to like, I'll do it tomorrow, like folding laundry, like I'll do it tomorrow. But if I have it on there, and yesterday I said, I'm going to do that tomorrow, like I'll do it, even if it's 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I really want to go to sleep.
Yeah. And it comes down to like having like the list priority, and you do it. And I think when I first started doing this, I was like kind of falling into the trap of like having way too many things. So I was like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking,
then you start to get
I'm basically copying like what's on my trailer list, and like I was putting in the notepad.
That's not the point.
Like, that's not the point. So every now and then this comes back, and I'm like, oh, no, let's scrap everything and let's start again. But like really having like 5 or 6 items work related, because like I see you have like more like personal stuff as well, like folding laundry and stuff. But if for work, having like 5 things, make it
most of the time it's like 5 to 8 things for work.
Yeah. But like this could be like send an email to this person.
Absolutely.
And if it's one of the most important things you have to do that day,
and ask
do
about
it.
The shoot.
Yeah, I actually have to call someone today. Anyways, this reminds me. But
just question, like you mentioned before, now we've gone a long way in the talk, but I really want to know, you mentioned before you've touched this, or you even had a burnout.
Yeah.
How did you get there?
I'm not sure.
What happened?
I'm not sure I had actually like a proper burnout. I don't know, but I've had these, I think it happens like maybe twice. Once when I was working in my previous agency, like whatever, but where everything was, my brain was not functioning properly, I felt like, and everything was like this huge impossible task to achieve. And this happened like the first time it happened, we can go Black Magic.
Of course, yeah.
The first time it happened, I was like, oh, I need to take time to like think about, like take care about myself and like do this. And then it wasn't as bad as the second time. The first time it went away pretty easily, just like talking to my team and stuff, and like things went.
So you noticed right away, and you were able to talk.
No, I noticed after like 2 weeks. My girlfriend was like, "There's something wrong with you."
But 2 weeks is still pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like,
but maybe this was like an underlying issue for like the longest period of time, and then all of a sudden the one event like did something, and then it came out.
Okay.
But the second time, when I actually felt the more creative burnout, that was like I think maybe 2 years ago. We were doing a lot of projects. We were like having a lot of work coming in all the time, and I had to jump between like this project to this project to this project, managing the scene, whatever. And then that was at that point, like my brain could not think about new ideas anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was like that was really scary, because like my mind is always running, and I'm always like thinking about cool stuff, like not necessarily cool for me, but about stuff I could do, like what could I do next and stuff, and my brain just shut down.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, oh shit, like now I really need to take a real step back. And I talked a lot with my girlfriend, and it helped a lot. And I didn't see any specialists, or I didn't see any psychiatrists and whatnot, but I think that if I didn't take the right steps when I felt like my brain was not functioning and stuff, like if I was not working for myself and for someone else that didn't realize, for instance, and that person would be pushing me, maybe at that point it could have been like really bad, I think. But I think it all went down to like realizing it and trying to find a system that allows you to have some me time or family time, whatever you value, and I think it just went away. But something that actually, you talked about supplements, I just want to talk about supplements now. I've when I'm really stressed out and I start to have this really like almost like overwhelming sensation, I take CBD oil.
Oh.
I don't do any drugs. I don't smoke weed. I don't. You
have to say that now.
I don't do any drugs, really. But CBD, it was introduced to me by a friend of mine. And he told me like, when I'm really stressed out from work, I use CBD oil, and I just took like X amount of drops in my mouth, and it helped me calm down. And I actually realized he was really helping me calming down, especially at night before sleeping, and it would help me get like a good night of sleep. CBD, there's no THC, so you don't get high.
That's the mature way to do it. I just smoke a joint.
Yeah.
But that's very mature.
But I don't smoke. I've never smoked anything, so like I don't.
So what does it do with you? Like, what do you notice?
I think having talked to people who smoke weed and sometimes use CBD, I think you get all the relaxation you get from weed without being high.
Yeah.
So I think your whole body like kind of like like calms down and.
Yeah.
But you're not high. That means your perception of things and time and stuff is not altered at all.
Your mind isn't really.
Your mind is not. And you just like, relax. And I think this is a really good feeling. And
like, how do you feel it the most? Like, what is exactly happening? Like, for people that never used it, never tried it? What?
I think it's just like you if you're really stressed out and you take like the right amount of droplets, it's just like, it doesn't slow you down, but it helps you like relax. I think this is there's one word that would describe it, just relax.
Because I can feel in my muscles a lot. Like I can feel my muscles.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Your whole body is like.
Yeah, and I can actually like I feel my body more.
Yeah.
Not that. Well, it's also weed. It's different. I've tried CBD as well. Yeah. Not the oil, just the herbs.
Oh yeah.
And it just calms my body, just like you say.
Yeah.
But also I can feel my body more. So I know where there's tension.
Yeah.
So I'm more aware, I'm tense there. Oh, today was a stressful day.
The cool thing with CBD, it's also used by a lot of athletes as an anti-inflammatory medicine, natural medicine. And it also helps my back because I fucked up my back playing football and like filmmaking shit. And it just helps a lot. So I don't have to take like anti-inflammatory like ibuprofen or whatnot. I just take this.
Much healthier.
It's much healthier. And it just helps me.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it will work if like you smoke weed on like a regular basis. I don't know if it has the same effect.
Need more.
Yeah, I guess.
You just need more, like with everything.
Yeah,
I'm sure. That's why I try to not do it as much.
Yeah, but I really like the benefits of both. I've never smoked weed before, but like,
have you smoked CBD though?
I don't smoke. I don't inhale smoke, but I've taken CBD in oil form and in little capsules.
Yeah. I've tried that as well, and I actually got high from it, which was super weird because, like the friend I got it from, she got it at a pharmacy here in Switzerland, and so I tried it. No, it's CBD full, and I tried it and I got high.
Really?
And I don't know if it's my mind just thinking there's weed coming in, and I don't know, but I got high. The next few times I didn't, and I told people, and I was like, dude, I got super high. And I told them, and they were like, oh, I want to try it. And they didn't. They were like,
I think people like react to CBD differently.
So maybe it's just my body reacted. Because all my friends, some said, I had some minor things, but not really getting high. Just like small stuff. And nobody really had the effect that I had.
That's funny because like my girlfriend, she can't take like CBD. She pukes.
Really? Yeah. Straight away.
But like almost immediately. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I think like everybody is different. But like the capsules are really nice because usually they have a higher percentage of CBD. Yeah. So if like you're really stressed out, that would be good. Mm-hmm. But they also have, I think they have like gummy bears with CBD.
Oh, really?
So it's like non-THC edible.
Yeah.
We're gonna get flagged everywhere because like we were saying like so many
gummy bears and weed and edibles.
But the CBD has helped me a lot, and also
how often do you take it?
What?
How often do you take it?
When I'm stressed out, like every day.
So you take it every day now?
Not now, because I'm chill as F,
but
bro.
Now, like looking, now look, how many did you take this morning, bro?
No, like when I'm stressed out, like every night.
But now looking back, like how often do you have to take it?
It's by period. Like, maybe sometimes it's like 4 weeks at a time, 2 months at a time, and then
a few
not
months
for
without.
2 months. Yeah.
Okay.
It really depends, but I really like it, and I'm kind of raving about it because like also for people who play sports, like even like contact sports where your joints are getting like inflamed a lot. This is crazy good. Yeah.
But it's still really like a lot of people are arguing about it. Which I don't understand because there's so many results that people had and so many even studies. Yeah. And still some people argue it's bullshit.
Yeah, I guess maybe like big pharma.
But I guess it's with everything, like you say, because people have interests and shit.
But
what else do you do now? What else? Like,
I talk a lot.
What measures do you take?
I'm trying to talk a lot more to my girlfriend. She's like the one I talk to the most.
about how you feel and how stressed you are?
How I feel, how stressed I am. Because like I'm not a big talker. This is weird for a podcast, but I don't talk too much about my personal feelings and stuff. So so my girlfriend is like basically the person I talk to the most, and I tell everything. And like, she's a really good listener, and she's also pointing out when I don't realize I'm stressed out. She's like, hey, dude, do something about it. What's going on?
But then what do you do? Like, what do you do when you have because you said you had this super stressful time, and it was overwhelming, and you had creative burnout. You just didn't have any ideas, because stuff like that might come up again. Like,
so the process, usually the process is that I'm getting like, I don't want to say burned out, because like I'm sure like people have burned out even like a lot more worse.
Me too. Yeah.
So let's say I'm really stressed out with work. Let's say that. Usually the phase is either I realize it, but most of the time my girlfriend realizes it. And she says like, Romain, you're really stressed out, like what's going on? And the first phase is usually I'm denying it. Like I'm like, no, it's good. It's just like I have a lot of work, and I can like close myself, and like I kind of like go down even deeper, because like now I'm stressed out. Am I stressed out? Like and then I realize it, and then it just goes through like talking to my girlfriend and figuring out what's going on. And then from then on, I think I've had enough experience with this to actually know how to step back. And usually stepping back is trying to spend even more quality time with my family. This is the main thing I do. So that means don't look at your emails on the weekend. Don't look at your emails after hours. Try to have strict boundaries as well. Do you have this
strict, like, do you do this that strict? Like, weekend, no emails?
So,
fixed.
Vacations, I delete the email app on my phone. I don't look at my emails.
Okay.
And I have an auto reply saying like, I won't read your emails until upon my return. Yeah. So this is clean. But then I'm not looking at my emails after work usually, unless there's like an emergency and it's not a project that I know I'll have to answer. But this is like this is not every day. This is like from time to time. So not looking at your emails, trying to think about something else, watching, shows on Netflix, and, go outside and do stuff. And what really helps me, I think, it's sport in general. Because I think for a long period of time, I didn't, during COVID, basically, like I didn't do any shit, like anything.
Really?
Because my girlfriend was pregnant, so we were really scared of like going, because we didn't know what COVID was, and she was pregnant, and we didn't want to risk anything for the baby, obviously. So for like a year and a half, like I didn't do any sports, and like I really felt like my mood was bad, and like I was getting stressed out more often. And then I started to play flag football, which is like a non-contact version of like football-ish.
Do you still play?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Flag football, not football.
I know.
Yeah, we have a team with like really old people in Neuchâtel. like our 40
I imagine people with like
strollers, walkers.
Like these. Yeah.
Like our average 40 time is probably like, I don't know, 15 seconds. Like something like this.
If they even get there.
Even if they even get there. No, but like it's really a lot of fun.
That sounds fun though.
And I've started to like work out a little more as well, because like
what?
Before COVID, we were working out like all the time. Like we were working like 4 times a week.
What do you mean by working out?
Gym.
Okay,
I love gym.
You go to the gym? Really?
Yeah, I really love gym.
We should go to the
gym together sometime. He doesn't show because like I'm a dad now. But
no, he's big. He doesn't show on camera, but he's a big guy.
But I really loved working out. I fell in love with working out when I was playing football, obviously, and then I just kept on doing it even after football. And then I just love it, because it's like kind of like an easy way to get like sport done. You go to the gym, you put your headphones in, no one talks to you, you just do your thing.
So now you don't do this anymore, or again?
I started doing it, and I can see the results on my mind, like on my mindset and everything. Like almost immediately, almost after the first session, I'm like, oh shit, this is completely different. I have my perception of things like different. Like my mood is better. Like I feel better. Like everything. So
sports for me is like one of the only things that really like I can get off my mind.
Yeah.
One of the only things, because without and friends, of course, socializing with people that mostly aren't like in the same boat as me. Like we tend to speak about work a lot, or creative work, which is super fun, but sometimes when you're stressed about work and your creative thing, then it's not the best even more talk about this.
Yeah.
So it really helps talking to people that have nothing to do with it, and oftentimes they're like, bro, shut the fuck up about film. Like, I don't want to know about film. And I love that, because it makes you just talk about other shit.
Yeah.
And that really, really helps than not being only in that one bubble.
Yeah.
That's the two things that really get
Oh, for sure. And the friend thing is like so valuable, what you're saying, because like I have a group of friends that are active in the same industry, and I have a group of friends that I met through football, basically. And this group of friends is super eclectic, because, you know, like sport brings like so many different people together. So you have people working like manufacturers, but you also have people like CEOs and stuff.
Completely different people.
Completely different. So like when we get together, we basically become like teenagers again, and like we just talk about football, like whatever, like this. Oh, they opened this new burger place. This is the best burger. No, bullshit. This is not the best burger. Whatever, you know, and stuff like this. And it's just really refreshing. And I think COVID didn't help at all with this, because like everybody was so scared and like kind of like secluded in their own places, and I think a lot of people have suffered from like mental health issues, burnt out. Even if they didn't have to work as much as they used to before COVID, but like just being alone and like stressed out, what's still going on in the world and stuff, that, you know, burnout, creative burnout, and like really mental health issues have like gone up.
Of course.
And that's crazy. I saw a post about the I don't know which organization said, like the World Health Organization,
WHO.
I think. Yeah, WHO. They said that, don't quote me on the numbers, but this was something really scary. I think like 20% of the kids between age, like, I don't know, 14 to 18 is suffering from mental health issues. I don't know if it was, I don't know if it was Europe or Switzerland, but I was like, dude, 14 to 18.
Or so, kid, they're not even 18 yet. Yeah.
So you're like in a classroom of like 20 kids, you know, there's like 4 people battling like some sort of like mental health issue.
At least.
Yeah. But I think the topic is getting more, because like now we're kind of shifting to mental health, but I think it's getting more and more exposure to the world. Because like, you know, Paddy the Baddy, you know, the UFC guy, the Irish guy, he had a speech after a fight. I'll show you afterwards. I think he won a fight, and he dedicated that fight to a friend of his. I think that like committed suicide maybe a day or two ago. And he was like, dude, if you're a man and you have mental health and you think about killing yourself, try to find help and stuff. And I saw that, I think Kelly Slater said something about, you know, everybody needs a therapy.
Oh, yeah, I posted this. Yeah. Everybody needs a friend. And
a therapy.
I don't know what you said. Yeah.
I think like
something
people,
like that.
Like a lot of people are opening up about mental health, even in like the people who used to be like untouchable, like the professional athletes, really strong guys, bench 500s, whatever. And I think that's really good, because like I think men in general,
of course, we
don't talk about our feelings at all, and that's really bad. I think I don't want to do the gender thing, but I think like female are more likely to be open about their feelings for some.
But it's a fact. Yeah. It is, like, if you look at the numbers, like men are much less going to therapists and able. And that's I saw some numbers or a podcast. I listened to a podcast, I think, and they said it's about 1/5 or 1/4 of men go to therapists than women. So like only 20% go, while for women it's 100%.
I think it's like I
don't know if I'm saying this right, but 1/5 of men go.
Yeah.
Bro, what's wrong with me? Like, out of the number of women that go,
1/5 of the number of the women who go to therapy.
So like, only 20% go.
Yeah.
And that's much less. And people like the original saying was, okay, men just have less mental problems, which is obviously not the case.
No, I know.
Probably even the other way around. But women are just more open to seek help.
But I think now,
so there's a dark number.
I think it's shifting now. I think it's shifting, because I think like the new generation of people, I think they're way more
even
open.
Us just now talking about this
way
is
more
already
open
opening
than our
up,
parents.
You know,
and also about, we're not going to talk about it, but like the gender equality stuff, like this is I think a big issue with our generation, a little bit like the older generation. I think the generation after us is going to be much better than us.
Already.
You
can already see like. I always make the example with TikTok. The things that get discussed and the topics that are in videos on TikTok by 14-year-olds is insane.
Yeah.
They are so aware of mental health already and of like injustice and human rights, which you're like, bro, you are 14.
Yeah.
How do you even know what human rights are? Because I sure as hell didn't, or wasn't
still
really
don't know.
Still
don't know.
Wasn't super aware of it.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how already like these topics are getting discussed by 14 to 18-year-olds.
I really like it. It's this bright thing in the future, because like the future is not really bright right now. But also, I think the people they're more aware of like everything.
Yeah.
Because like the generation before us, they basically effed up everything.
Yeah.
For us, environment, economy, everything.
But they didn't know better. Honestly.
No, they didn't know better.
You know.
I'm not gonna blame them, because if I was them, like maybe 50 years ago,
we all would have done the same thing.
Done the exact same thing. But now we're the generation in between, sort of like, you know, kind of like stuck in the past. Kind of. We're still told like, don't cry if you're a boy, and then now the next generation
they can grow up starting with this already. Absolutely,
that's great.
But also, I think it's kind of scary. I'm very pessimistic now, but I don't think it's good, and it's a good sign. But I think for 14 to 18-year-olds to be already like bombarded by human rights and injustice and war in Ukraine and mental health, I think it can be too much. And I think these kids are kind of being robbed by just being immature and innocent for 18 years, and then being able and then having to.
That's when you can go back to the WHO like statistics, like saying, you know, 20% of the kids to have like.
Of course, because they're so stressed about all this shit. They're not even like adults yet, and they already have to talk about mental health, or you know, like and war, and
that's
it's insane how they have to grow up so fast.
They have to grow up really fast, and I don't know which one is better. Is it better to live in like a bliss world? Like
I think it comes back to what we said in the beginning: balance.
Balance, yeah.
It's good that they can talk about it already, but they shouldn't be like all in there already and having to balance.
Dude, that was a good episode.
I think that's a good end.
It's been
balance everybody.
Balance everybody. Yeah. For the people on YouTube, you've been watching this angle for the past 18 minutes, and we apologize for this, but the conversation was just too good.
It's my chocolate side too, though. That's good.
Yeah.
Yours too?
Both sides are good.
You all chocolate.
Yeah. Chocolate all around. But no, it was a cool conversation.
Yeah.
Tell us in the comments, Spotify stuff, whatever. Just leave us a review. Say you love it. 5-star.
And tell us how you like this longer episode. Was it annoying to hear, or was it like, oh, nice, they finally talked it out?
Because so far we've tried to like keep it under 30 minutes for technical reasons, but also we kind of like the format, shorter podcasts. But I think for conversations like this that are really important, and like talking about stuff that I go beyond just filmmaking, and like, oh, the Alexa 35, it looks really good.
If it doesn't make sense to at 30 minutes just stop, then we keep on talking. If you think we haven't talked it out, then we just talk until it's done.
Sure. All right, so that's it for today's episode, and
thanks.
If you liked it, subscribe, do all the thing, spam
Spotify, Instagram, YouTube. Thank you, everyone.
Are we on Apple Podcast?
No, but Amazon Podcast.
Oh yeah.
Where a lot of people are surely listening to it.
Jeff, my Jeffrey boy, Jeff Bezos, what's up?